to the Ripple Effect Podcast, episode 4. Today we're going to be talking about social media and Christian opportunities online. My name is Luca.
I'm Chad.
I'm Anaijah.
And I'm Anjelle.
And so to start it off, what are some of the positive effects of social media?
Positive effects of social media?
Yeah.
So what I think positive effects, you get to strengthen the current relationships you have, and if you're lucky, you might end up forming new relationships. Even though, yeah, you're with internet strangers, but hey, what can I say?
Right.
Well, I know that you can reach more people than you can in person. So
Right.
you can reach people in different countries, states, and you wouldn't have that same opportunities. Well, most likely if you were just in person, but
Right.
over the internet, you can reach more people wider and faster.
Right.
To piggyback on Anaijah, I think that, yes, we can send out information internationally with
Yeah.
social media, right? And instantly.
Yeah.
Like, you just put a post up today, and people will already be seeing it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that social media kind of gets a bad rep, but there are also a lot of positive things about it. I mean, for me, I use social media a lot just to reach out to friends that I have in other countries. I talk to a lot of people from Canada and everybody else, and I like to talk to them because a lot of their religions, who they say are Christian, they kind of differ from ours, and we kind of like have those conversations and deep meaning, thoughtful questions. And it's just nice to reach out to the world when we're just limited to this one little space we are.
Yeah, I'd like to add to what you said, Luca. It's like, a lot of people I talk to on social media, like, they have completely different, world views, like, different religions. So it's like, I think it's cool that I get to hear about, what they believe in, why they believe in it, and see how it differs from what I believe in. And then instead of, fighting about it, we could just discuss it like civil humans.
Yeah.
I think it also shows that like, how we're Christians here, in different parts of the world, there are other Christians also, like worshiping the same God as us,
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because there's like over 1 trillion people in the world, and we barely know even a quarter of them. We maybe know 0.0025% of them, and a lot of them don't even have the Christian viewpoint or the Christian religion in their areas. But we can talk all day about positive things, but there's more negative things on social media than there are positive nowadays. Just recently, there's been a lot of cases of people committing suicide because they're trying to compare themselves to other people. So, what do you think are some of the negative things of social media?
I think one of the biggest negatives is cyberbullying. Like, it's really easy for people to just say horrible things about one another just because they're behind a screen. So it's like they think they can't be held accountable for it, which in most cases they can't, and it sucks. I don't like it. I'm pretty sure the viewers at home don't like it, but that's just the way it is.
So one negative that I really find very common is comparing.
Yeah.
So you could compare yourself to this one person, or compare yourself to, even if you look on past posts you had, comparing your views that you had back then to what you have now, and trying to see, well, why did it drop, or why has it raised? And just comparing in a way, doing things that, well, you're doing things that may not align biblically, but then you're doing it to please others instead of God. So.
Yeah, people pleaser, or peer pressure and all that stuff. You're a part of social media and you're on it a lot. So, what about you?
I believe some negatives could be like, the positive is you can see different sides of, what people are doing, like different hobbies and stuff.
Yeah.
But also, there's the negative side of it where you don't really want to touch, because it's like, okay, well, I have entered this new side of social media. If I delve into it more, then it can be bad for me,
Yeah.
There's the content there. I mean, anybody can post anything. So there are those types of people who post things that aren't really appropriate for
Yeah.
everyone. So yeah.
I mean, social media, it's weird because you can be scrolling on Instagram Reels and you can have 4, 5, 20 different videos of just Christian preachers and everything on there, and then the next video, it's just going to be somebody doing drugs or something.
Hmm.
And honestly, that's the one thing that I think is the biggest negative is people posting drugs, alcohol, doing illegal things, and then some of these kids who have phones who really shouldn't have phones are seeing it and they're like, oh, that's cool, I'm going to go do that. And eventually it's going to end up with them going down a path they don't really want to go down. And to me, that's scary because we had an event here and I was seeing kids younger than when my age. I never had a cell phone, but these kids, they're 5, 6, 7. They're having phones. They're scrolling through Instagrams, TikTok, everything, and they're seeing all these things. And I'm hearing the way they talk, and I'm just like, that's not how people should be talking. They're not getting the right influence on social media, and it's really, really bad. Do y'all have anything to talk about that?
Well, there are certain things, not even just social media, but just the entertainment industry and stuff like that. So I know on TikTok and I think other platforms, you're able to use sounds, and then when they have access to those sounds, they'll use those sounds and they spread songs. And I know that even from where I hear them, they'll be stuck in my head.
Yeah.
I don't even listen to those songs,
Yeah.
but they'll be stuck in my head, and then I start searching, and then you find yourself going to those things. So that
Yeah.
would be like a number one.
You kind of get like into a loop. The song gets stuck in
Yeah.
your head. You find the song. You listen to the song once, and then now you have 20 different videos of the same song. So yeah.
Yeah. So what I think it's like, it's gotten to the point where like with these kids, with their cell phones and all that, when they really shouldn't have cell phones. Like for instance, I didn't get my first phone until I was about 11, I think.
Yeah.
Like it just leads into what's commonly called brain rot. Like brain rot content forms on like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, what have you. I'm pretty sure you all know Skibbity Toilet. It's like
Yeah.
it has gone to that point where we have these children out in the world just saying, "Oh, this is so Skibbity." It's like, what is Skibbity?
Yeah.
Like, I look it up on Safari, and it's like, oh, some brain rot song. Okay.
Yeah, that's what our youth pastor was actually just saying was he hears us talk about all these things and he goes home and he searches it up because he doesn't know what it is. He's not on the social media that we're on, so he searches up and then he's just like, what is this? Why are y'all listening to this?
So, can I add to that
Yeah.
real quick? To add to the brain rot, it also, I think there's another term where people like say they're rotting, where
Yeah.
you just scroll all day or like for a few hours and you don't even realize you're scrolling for a few hours and then
Yeah.
time has passed and then you're like,
YouTube
well,
Shorts.
yeah, YouTube Shorts, exactly.
So like doom scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you don't realize a couple hours have passed and then you're like, oh shoot, I could have been doing something way more productive, way more like doing homework or something. But then it's like, well, what can we do now? Like
Right.
that time is wasted.
I mean, we've all fallen
Yeah.
down into that.
Exactly, definitely.
And it's more than once or twice a day that we all do that. And I feel like that's what kids with today is, because when I was a kid, never had a phone, never had a tablet. It was outside 24/7, eating dirt, eating grass, getting injured and, just having fun with kids. But now it's just, oh, I want to go play Dress to Impress on Roblox, or I want to go play Fortnite and stuff. And it's just sad because the kids are not getting the same experience as us anymore. But also, it's good because technology is becoming a more dominant thing within this world. And sooner or later, going outside is not going to be the norm. And so I feel like that's it. But as for right now, I feel like kids on Instagram and having social media access, it's affecting their brain, their body, and things too. I mean, TikTok, when it came out, people started saying, oh, they're losing focus. Their focus time is shorted to 60, 30-second videos. And I feel like I'm also part of that crowd too.
Yeah.
One more thing about kids is that sometimes kids can go and get in contact with older people who they should not be getting in contact to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, y'all know Omingo?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember
The one that got shut down?
Yeah, they had to shut it down because people were being degenerates.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but do y'all have anything to, like, do y'all know anything about the kids and have y'all noticed the kids, their shortening, their expansion, their,
Like their attention span.
yeah, their attention
Yeah.
span is being
Yeah, it's
shortened?
like-
Have y'all
Yeah.
noticed
I've
that?
noticed that a lot, especially it's like with my field of work. It's like they're like the children's attention span is just a matter of it's no longer just I can hold my attention for about 3 hours. It's like 3 minutes, and that's on a good
Yeah.
day. Most of the time, it's like it's in one ear out the other.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, and
like-
I think it also affects like education. Like,
Yeah.
if your attention span is short, then how are you learning anything?
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot in my school is that when we get to class, the first 5 minutes everybody's listening, but 20 minutes in the class, everybody's on their phone, scrolling, and it's been proven that social media and our shortened attention span is affecting our education, and it's scary because they're the next generation. So if they can't sit down and listen to a teacher talk for 30 minutes to 40 minutes, what are they going to do when they're in a job? Are they just going to give up, So, but but there's also on shortened attention spans, we're using social media now to reach kids. That's our home point, reaching out, connecting with teens of today, sharing our experiences. And so that's one of the good opportunities for us and for social media is that it's a way to spread a message and get it out there to people who might not really know about it and who might not feel comfortable coming in person to talk about it so they can just listen to it. So I feel like there's a lot of opportunities out there. Have y'all experienced any opportunities on social media or know of any?
I think I've seen a lot more Christian podcasts recently. And I've seen them advertising a lot more. But also, even since I'm in the graphic design field, I guess,
Yeah.
I've seen more of Christian art.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very inspiring. It's very motivating. Like, okay, there's actual other Christians out there that are interested in the same, like, field I'm in.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay.
It makes you feel like you're not alone in this
Yeah,
one world.
exactly.
You have a group. What about you?
I know that I use Pinterest a lot. It's a thing. And I'll see like different videos on how to be a better Christian, different verses, different Christian songs that will
Yeah.
help you stray away from the worldly music, like different good songs, and they'll like give you different things. There's also verses like that'll help you throughout your day that you might need for a certain situation, and I really like when I come across something that's like something you can do with your Christian friends. It always like really hypes me up because I'm like, oh, I could do this. Oh, I could do that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I know somebody who can do this. Oh, I know somebody who can do that.
Yeah.
So it's just that's like one of the best things for me personally.
What about you, Chad? I know you're like on social media. You're into a lot of the food
right.
and like weird combinations. Have you seen any
I've
like
seen-
Christian things with that?
No, not really from what I've seen, but closest thing I've seen to anything like Christian related is Chick-fil-A because, as we all know, Chick-fil-A is a Christian company. I say, what's a Christian's favorite restaurant? Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, but I feel like there's a untouched opportunity with the Christian field. And I mainly feel that because I'm gonna get a hot life here for this, but a lot of the Christian people today, they're old. They're used to dial up and rotary phones and all that. They don't know how to really work the social media field, and so I feel like a lot of the Christian churches nowadays are kind of getting shut out from the world because it's not on social media. I follow probably about 3 different churches who have social medias, and the rest of the churches I know, they're just not on it. And I asked them, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh, we have nobody to run it. And I feel like there's an untapped universe with untapped opportunities there. But one thing I've definitely seen with social media and everything is a lot of uprising of Christian music. The secular music has been getting out of hand, and I've seen a lot of people trying to take rap, hip-hop, R&B, and just turn it into Christian music. And honestly, it's been really, really good lately. And I just want more of it, but it's kind of hard to get more when there's so few people out there. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I'd like to add to the whole music thing. I feel like it's gotten to a point where it comes to secular music, it's talking about the same 3 topics: women, intercourse, and drugs, just ad nauseum.
Yeah.
So it's like that's why I feel like with Christian music, it needs to be a lot more mainstream, a lot more popularized because it's like you have to like it's like there's only like very specific niche radio stations out there that plays Christian music. Everything else is secular. It's just secular, left, right,
Yeah.
center.
To add to that, I feel like I've heard a lot of like Christian rap recently.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, there's more genres of Christian music than just gospel or like
Yeah.
the regular
Yeah.
things we sing at church, and it's good to realize that, but because also like um there's more Christian apparel too, coming up with like the lyrics and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like, okay, so us Christians are getting noticed a little bit, and
Yeah.
we're putting our stuff out there. So it's just
Yeah.
good.
And I just thought of this analogy. Back then, radios were the thing. That's how you got messages out there. But now it's social media, and radios are going obsolete. We just talked about this in our last episode. Wednesday nights, we would go up to church, and at around 8 p.m., 9 p.m., when we finished, we would hop in the car, and the talk show Adventures in Honesty would be on. Well, that's not on anymore, on the radios anymore, and it's sad because that's really what used to bring the kids closer to God, the younger kids, and it's not there anymore. And I feel like that something like that should be moved on to social media, and just should be promoted more like that, just like little shows like that. Yeah. Did you have anything to add about music or?
Well, I did say that I do listen to a lot of rap, Christian rap music, and I do find that there are some artists who are just lyrically just insane. It's very amazing, but this like it's really refreshing to actually hear people who actually want to go out and do the will of God,
Right.
and just be able to give glory to His name throughout everything. And one of the best things I'll see is when I find new music.
Mm-hmm.
Like a problem I used to run into is I couldn't find new music, but
Right.
now I'm actually finding different Christian artists who I can actually listen to.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to run back to secular because I'm like, I need more. But I have more music, and it prevents the temptation to want to run back.
Yeah. And I love how how they're finding new ways to glorify God through social media. I know you personally, you've tried to do something with an Instagram account where you post like, you get people's opinions, like what's your favorite verse, what does it mean to you, and how does it help?
Yeah.
Do you have any other ways of how you can glorify God through social media?
I think just posting like you said earlier about the different verses people could read. Even like if you're feeling a certain way, like what verse would you run to when you're feeling that way? And just different things like that, honestly. I feel like people need somebody to relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And especially as Christians, because you would think Christians are like, they don't really try to show it because you'll always get backlash.
Yeah.
But having other Christians to know that you can lean on and posting that type of content helps out.
I feel like for me, I recently not recently, but like a year ago or two, I found this account that automatically sends you daily Bible verses, daily prayers, because in today's world, we get really busy. Like we wake up, we got to go to work, we got to go to school. When we don't have time for God, we don't have time for prayer, we don't have time to read the Bible or devotions. So I found these people who automatically send this out to you throughout the day. So you get one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And that's really helped me, one thing, and that's why I love social media, is because I don't have the courage or the strength in the morning to open up a Bible and read. But if I can just get that text message, because I check my phone really early in the morning. I wake up, I read the message, I pray, I do the prayer and everything. And for me, that's one great opportunity, and I wish I could figure out how to do that, because there's a lot of things that need to be reached out with teens of today. And I feel like that's a great way to get it, because it's just like a text message, just read it and be like, cool, we're set.
That, and when you read it, you can get something from it. And even if, like what you said, you're like stuck in this place where I don't feel like it, when you get that text, you get really, you might get really hype about it, and you might go search and do more research and go more digging and Bible studying, and then you might text a friend like, hey, look what I just saw, and then it goes to them, and then that's another way how social media can help. It just spreads the message way faster.
Yeah.
It's like a butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have to wait to send. You don't have to wait for a letter to be sent in the mail 5 days, 6 days. It's instant. They get it immediately, and it's just direct. Do you know any opportunities the way we can glorify God? Do you know a way that you can do it through your food?
Through my food. Of course, one way I could glorify God is, before cooking, I just say a quick prayer, go for there. And maybe I can just add in a little Bible verse, just maybe before I start cooking, I pray, and then I say a Bible verse, then I go from there.
Yeah.
I have an idea. So there are different foods in the Bible, or like different things and different feasts in the Bible.
Oh.
And you could try saying, okay, this is what they used to eat in the Bible. This is why. That this certain time they would eat this, and this certain time they would do that. You could go and say, okay, this is why they did it. This is
Yeah.
how you make it, and this is why you would eat it.
Right.
Yeah, that would be good for people who are like, oh, I don't really like this talkings thing. Like, I don't really like podcasts, but I do like cooking. I love watching people eat food. So maybe that's a great way to spread the message to those foodies out there, those big bags that just want to eat food and watch food. Yeah, but, I mean, and just recently within our own church, this past year, Angel over here, she's the social media director and coordinator for that. And she's been putting out a lot of stuff. It's actually, for me personally, I've seen it bring in a lot of more new people, a lot of people down to our youth group. And honestly, I love seeing it. And I wish I could hopefully get into a position one day where I could also do social media with my ministry and everything like that. Yeah. Do you have anything else to add? No.
not particularly.
All right. I think that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you within 2 weeks. All right. See ya.